I've seen your Instagrams all week. Yeah, you have like beer in your hand and that. Look like you've been chilling out a little bit after your fight.
Aye, man. I've not got too many injuries. At least I've just got a bit of a swollen ankle. So apart from that, I'm all good.
How did you do that during the fight, or was that during your camp? Or?
Aye, I don't know. To be honest, I never felt it in the fight, so it must have been like a body kick or something. I've kicked his elbow or something like that. It's just kind of swole up a wee bit. It's nothing too serious, I don't think.
Yeah, maybe it's like adrenaline or something in the fight. You just didn't really feel it or something like
you
that.
don't feel anything.
Yeah, yeah. So he's obviously been taking. Do you think it'll take long off training before jumping back in again?
I'm hoping to get back next week. I usually just always take a week off after a fight, just to chill out more than anything, man. That one was a really long camp. Like that was 12 weeks I'd done that over. I usually just do like an 8-week fight camp, but more just because obviously the lockdown stuff and that. But I wasn't like training as regular, so I thought I'll get 12 weeks in this time and just do it over a longer period. And I stayed in the gym for a couple of, because I still work full time as well, so I was doing the morning sessions and stuff. So I was staying in the gym and then getting a couple of extra morning sessions in a week. So that helped as well. So it was a long old camp, just like 3 months of just grinding, man. So it takes its toll on your body and that. So just a wee week off to kind of chill out after the weekend there.
Do you like having the longer camps then? It was not much longer than the Medi one, wasn't it?
Yeah, well, I like to have I like to have at least 8 weeks, to be honest. Usually, like that's kind of the minimum I like to work with. But I know everybody says I'm not that I'm not in shape. It's just more when you work full time. It's just having the time to commit to the fight. Like, and at the level I'm at now, I need to be able to put that 8 to 12 weeks that I can just say like I'm dedicating myself to this fight. I just bought my first house not long ago as well, so like it's kind of like it's a lot to take on. Just having to mentally prepare and just having the time to put in at the gym, because I train probably 40 minutes away, 45 minutes away from where I stay. So like I've got an hour and a half of travelling every day just to get to training. So it's kind of it's a lot. I'm there 5 times a week, so it's a lot. Like, so I just make sure I can commit, because I want, like, especially coming off a loss in Cage Warriors, it's sink or swim. It's some of the best guys in Europe, so there's no like you're going to be getting an easy fight after coming off a loss. And just for the Medi one, it was too good an opportunity for me not to take. And I felt I could beat Medi. I still feel like I could beat him on the right day. His game plan was good on the night, and I done a good job. But I managed to bounce back, and I've got back in the win column, so I'm happy with the way the weekend went.
Yeah, you said about your gym, is that higher level you were talking about? Yeah,
it's a higher level martial arts, which is through in Bathgate. I've got a gym full of killers. Like, I'm spoilt for training partners, to be honest, man. For the kind of featherweight, lightweight division in our gym, you probably pay good money to watch some of our spars. Like, we've got some really good guys.
I was talking to Scott Malone last night. It seems like you've got a good group of lads up there.
Scott's a good boy, man. He's been at our gym for a wee while now. He used to come back and forth for sparring, but he's moved full time now. He's got his own place as well, so he gets through when he can. But for him, it's the best place for him, because like he's got Luke as a main sparring partner, which you can't really get much better really for in Europe, because Luke's the top flyweight in Europe, if not in the top 3 to 5 or whatever. So Scott's obviously just he's a bit, because he was on Cage Warriors for a long time and never made the move through here. But I think his coach actually suggested for him to come through at a higher level just to get better sparring partners and give yourself the best opportunity. And he's already a really talented fighter, so just if James can add new tools to his game, then it's just going to improve him.
What about for yourself, mate? How do you find yourself sparring with a lot in your camp?
So, man, I've been through a higher level for a long time now. I've been there probably seven-ish years. Me and my brother made the move about 7-8 years ago, and some of my rounds have been, over the years, have been pretty good. Like, my main sparring partner kind of for the majority of the time has been Stevie Ray. Stevie's helped me massively through my career. Like, I've obviously helped him with a lot of his camps. It just turned out like stylistically, I was a kind of size opponent. He was getting all the time kind of tall, rangy, lightweight. So it worked good for him, and for me getting that experience doing all the camps with Stevie for like UFC fights and getting to go corner him in the UFC and stuff. It's been good for my career and my progression. But there's also other guys, like there's Danny Henry, who's also in the UFC. I've had Graham Turner, who was obviously in Cage Warriors for a long time. He was one of my main sparring partners. Martin Delaney, who was European champion stuff, and he fought on Cage Warriors as well. Who it's a gym full of killers, man. It's been like that for years. So it's definitely helped me over the years getting to spar with all these guys, and then you've got James coaching you. So it's definitely a good place to be, man.
Yeah, it's in. I feel like you and Decky are quite similar in like in build and size coming into it. Yeah. Is that sort of go into your preparation, or do you take that into consideration?
Yeah. So when I obviously got offered the fight with Decky, I accepted it right away. Like I said to my coach, I wanted that fight. I had a kind of feeling that the ones the guys that were going to get offered would have been either Decky or Kieran Lister. That's who I thought I would got, and it turned out it was Decky.
So he just come off the draw with Kieran, I think, didn't he?
That's right, aye.
Yeah.
So that's who I thought I could get one of them. If they don't rematch that fight, I think I'll get one of them. I said that to James. And as soon as they said Decky for the name, when I put my name forward for that show, I was like, yeah, let's do that. I just felt like, no disrespect to Decky, I think he's a great fighter, man. And I actually really enjoy watching him. I think he's a great fighter to watch. He's kind of like myself in a lot of ways. Like, he likes to strike and he comes to finish, and he's got good submissions and stuff as well. He's a well-versed fighter. I just felt like I was better than him in every area. I mean, I dare say he'll feel the same way. If you're a fighter, you're going to be confident in your abilities. But I just felt I had the edge, and I felt I had quite a big edge in the grappling, which I suppose it showed on the night. I managed to get the submission win, but Decky's a tough guy, man. He'll come back, and I'm sure he'll do great again. But that stylistically, I thought was a good match for me.
Yeah, obviously spent like a lot of time in the clinch in the first round as well. You looked quite even there in the first round. Did it feel like fairly even, or was it?
I mean, I thought I won the round. Like, I've watched it back a couple of times. I feel like I just edged it. Like, I'm not saying it was a massive 10-9, but it was. I feel like it was. I think I just edged it. I think the striking was pretty even. I think we both landed probably equal amount on each other. In the clinch, I felt like his back was on the fence a wee bit more than mine. And I think the last 30 seconds really just sealed the round for me. I think I got that takedown and I landed some good ground and pound. And I thought that probably just cemented me getting the round. I think if I maybe never got that takedown, it maybe would have been a closer round to score. I maybe could have went either way, but I feel that was only. I feel like that was the only like substantial thing that happened in the first round. So I felt like that maybe just nicked it for me. And I managed to get the finish in the second. So it wasn't so much it was a feeling out process in the first round. A few folk have kind of said that, like obviously the commentators were saying that, but like I hadn't planned to clinch with him. I had a couple of things that I had planned for the fight, but it just ended up that's where we ended up. I think because I'm tall, and I think he's used to being a taller fighter, and I think I had a wee bit of range on him. And I think he was struggling to land at a distance, so it was making him swing. And when he was swinging, I think he switches stance when he comes forward. So when he was swinging, it was making us end up in a clinch, and that's just where we ended up. And then obviously I was just trying to make sure I was always keeping his back to the fence and trying to outland him on the fence, and obviously looking for takedowns. But he's got good defense, so I was struggling to get him down.
Yeah. It looked like he was trying to like walk you down, but also like counter your shots as well, if you know what I mean. Yeah.
Well, I was just trying to time it because he was like I said, he was swinging, so I was just trying to take a half. Sometimes I was coming back too much, but I was just trying to take that half step back and just ping the right hand, which I landed a couple of times. I think probably in the second round more. I countered him a few times, but I know he's quite an aggressive fighter, so I was going to let him come onto my shots rather than me pressuring him and walking onto his shots. But I know it was a good scrap, man. He's a good fighter, like I said. I've got nothing but respect for Decky, to be honest. Like I said before, I enjoy watching his fights. Nothing worse than a boring fighter. Like somebody doesn't come to finish. Like, that's what I'm all about. Like, I'd rather just perform and leave it all out there rather than trying to like hold somebody. That's why I was actually not enjoying the clinch position, because I didn't really enjoy it. Like, I like to make an exciting fight, like, but
not enjoyed what, sorry?
That's why I didn't really enjoy the clinching against the fence. I was finding it quite boring, but it just kind of, there was just the way it worked. There was no real route for me to just disengage, so I just kind of had to go with it. But it is what it is, man. I think it was still quite an exciting fight, and it was good that I got the finish.
Yeah, you sound like you've got a lot of respect for Decky. Like,
aye, man. I'm not into all the shit talking and all that. I know, like, it's probably not good for the promoters, like, because I'm not really into all that talking shit on people, calling people out and stuff like that. It's not really my game, man. But Decky had fought one of my teammates before, so I knew he was good, because the boy that I trained with, Alex Davison's a good fighter. And Decky managed to stop him, so I knew I was going to have my hands full. And I'd watched a few of his fights, and he's talented, man. He's a good fighter. I just felt like it was better, and that's it. There's no disrespect. Like, on another night, I'm sure Decky might have got me. It is what it is.
Yeah. Were you in any trouble in the first round when he caught you with that overhand right? Or?
Nah, I'm not just saying it. Like, nothing rocked me or anything. And even in my first fight on Cage Warriors, when Mehdi managed to stop me, although I was slightly rocked, I wasn't out at all. Like, as a fighter, I felt like I could have continued, but watching the fight back, it was a fair stoppage. I'm not disagreeing, but as a fighter, I felt like I would have got out the round. Like, it just sat me down more than anything. But like, that is what it is. Like, I'm not going to be too bitter about it. But as a fighter, I'd rather get put away, basically, is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah. So you'd rather get put away, would you, than get lose to a decision?
Yeah, more than not just like I'd rather have like a fair. Although the refs here to make it fair for you, and it's smart. That's what they're there for. I'd rather get put out or put to sleep rather than kind of any fighter's going to fight till they can't fight anymore, and that's about the just it. Like, if you're in there, you're in there to death for me. Like, but I'd rather get put away, basically, and rather than just kind of getting dropped. And then, I mean, it is what it is. That's what the refs here for. They're not wanting you to take any more damage. So, it is what it is.
Yeah, it looked like you were doing pretty well in the scrambles at the end of the first and in the second round as well. Like, I think Decky got a takedown, but he managed to come out on top in the scramble, and like a few other times as well.
Yeah, I've got pretty good jiu-jitsu, man. It's just that a lot of time I don't get to show it, just because I end up striking most of the time. But I know I'm pretty well versed, man. I'm not a one-trick pony. Like, if you look at, I've got a lot of submission wins on my record, as well as knockouts and TKOs. Like, I think I've only probably had one decision win or something like that. Like, I like to get the finish, man. I like to make it exciting. Obviously, the higher level you go up in fighting, it's obviously got to be more difficult to get the finishes. But that's what I'm there for. Like, I'm there to put on exciting fights, and like, don't get me wrong. First and foremost, I want to win. But if I can make it an exciting fight along the way, then I'm all about that. Like,
yeah, obviously that end sequence where you managed to get the takedown. Could you walk us through a little bit how you managed to get that takedown at the end? Was it a trip you managed to get it up? Because he went for a spinning elbow, didn't he, as well? I think he ducked under.
That's what kind of led to it. He threw. There was a couple of times I could see he was wanting elbow in the clinch, but I was just keeping enough space. But then I just seen it in a split second before he basically threw it, because it was actually quite a nice shot he went to throw. So he went for the spinning elbow, and I've managed to just get double underhooks and trip him. When he's got back up, he's came up on the whizzer, which is the right thing to do. But what I had done in the first round, which ended up in like a wee scramble, I had took him back over my lead leg, so it's like took him back the way. So I faked to do that, and as I've done that, he's obviously trying to sink his weight, so he's let go of his overhook. So that when he's done that, I've ducked underneath, took the back, just put my near side hook in, which is the most important one if you're into jiu-jitsu. And I managed to get his back. I've not really thought I was getting the choke, to be honest. I kind of knew I wasn't going to get it. I just
The
I just
first
thought
one.
first one I just thought I'll chance my luck here. I usually go for the harness first, but then I thought, do you know what, I'm just going to try the neck and just see where I'm at here with it. I'm pretty good at switching it up, so as soon as I gave him enough space to think that I was giving up on it, and then I just sunk the other arm through and managed to sink it up, and that was it was going to be tough for him to escape it. Could have had the backhand, the one that he would want to peel, had it pretty well behind his head, so I think it would have been difficult for him to kind of peel that.
Yeah. Were you keen to end the fight with a submission instead of strikes, or did you just sort of go for a submission as it sort of because it presented itself to you?
Yeah, I didn't have a preference on how I finished them. I just wanted to fight. I just wanted to finish the fight. I felt like it would be more of a statement, to be honest, because I lost my first, like, my Cage Warriors debut. I wanted to make it a bit of a statement and get the finish. If that was important for me. Most and foremost, I wanted to win, but if I had to beat him with 3 rounds, then I would have had to beat him with 3 rounds, because I know he's tough. But I just felt like I said to everybody that's about my camp, that I said, if I get his back, I'll 100% submit him. And like, I'm not just making that up to make it sound cool, but I'm pretty good in the back. Like, I don't know if you've seen any of my other fights, but I've got quite a few rear naked chokes finishes from my amateur career up to my pro career. So I know I'm pretty good there. So I wasn't really. There's quite a few submissions I'm pretty decent with, so I'll maybe hopefully catch some more along the way.
Yeah, I know you said earlier you're not one for calling anyone out, but I'll say it's obviously a big win for you. Obviously,
yeah.
Second fight in Cage Warriors. Is there anyone else you've got your eye on now?
I just I didn't like really calling people out of that, man. The 2 fights that I was interested in before I got Decky was Kieran Lister or Decky, so I wouldn't mind fighting Kieran Lister because he's got a good record, and I feel like it would keep me up at the top of the division, and I just want to keep fighting and keep winning, man. I just it's no some I don't want to call it guy out. It's just I think it would be a good fight. The similarities in records, and I just feel like it would be a good match for fans and stuff. So I just at the end of the day, man, whoever Cage Warriors offer me, I'm gonna have to take. Like you said, you didn't really get to say that. It's just you take what you get. Lightweight division's full of killers, so I'll be ready for whoever I get, man.
Yeah. What did you make of the lightweight title fight at the weekend?
Great fight, man. It was good. I thought McColgan would do what he done. McColgan's been about for a long time. He's a really good fighter. Fought a lot of good fighters as well. I just thought stylistically it was a bad match for Sardari. I think he kind of struggles with tall, good strikers. And McColgan pieced him up. Like, he beat him pretty convincingly. Sardari's really good. Good fighter, but I just felt
came out a lot more aggressive, didn't he, than in previous fights? I think he was quite determined not to get another split decision. I think.
I just felt McColgan would be too much for him in the feet and grappling, and it kind of showed. But that's a good fighter. You don't win the belt and defend it a couple of times, or defend it once. Did he defend it once? Or twice? Can't remember.
I think he beat Jack Grant for the belt.
He won it. And then
and then I think he defended it against Donovan Desmay, I think.
Yeah. So the guy's a good fighter. He's beat a couple of good guys along the way there. So but I just felt stylistically McColgan was a bad match for him, and I think that'll be probably the fight they make next is Medi versus McColgan, the rematch, because I think the first one was a draw, which was really exciting. I think it was one of the fights of the year, I think they gave. So I think that would be on Cage Warriors. It would probably be a smart rematch for them to make, because I know
two great
strikers, man. It's an exciting fight, and I think Medi probably deserves it, to be honest. He's a good fighter, man. Beat some good guys along the way. He's undefeated and stuff. So I think that, and it's obviously with the draw on his record, I think it's kind of makes sense in a way. But I'll see what they come up with, but I'd imagine that would be something they'll be looking at.
Yeah. Do you see yourself fighting again soon, mate, or not? And I think K4 has another event planned for September, I think, don't they?
Yeah.
Do you see yourself on that card?
I don't know what the plan. I never really heard. I just heard they're saying maybe is it another trilogy again on September? I'm not 100%.
They've got the American show in August, I think, don't they?
Yeah.
And I think it's just American
I
fighters.
wouldn't over to America.
Yeah.
I've seen they've got a lot of lightweight fights as well, so I wouldn't mind getting one of them. But
Yeah.
I mean, I think they're just keeping it Americans be Americans now. So, maybe in the future or whatever. But I don't know exactly where they've got planned for this year. I know September's the. I don't know if somebody had said it was a trilogy. I'm not 100%. I'll need to get dates and stuff. To be honest, it's just if I can make it, I'll be fighting 100%. I just need to make sure I can get time off work and like just stuff like that. Like that's just it's a bit annoying. Obviously, not being full time, you can't just be like, yeah, I'll be on the next card because I need to plan in advance. But I'll see what happens, man. It would be nice. I fought in York Hall now twice as well, so it'd be nice to get a wee different location. I had heard they were doing something in Dublin and they were doing something in Paris or something like that at some point. So yeah, one of the cards would be cool. But I'll just see what happens. If the September date suit me, I'm 100%. I'll be up for that.
Keen on staying active then?
Yeah. I've not really got much injuries. I've just got this fucking ankle that's swole up the now, but I'd imagine I'll be able to train round it and it'll go down. So it's nothing really major. So I should be good to go again. Hopefully soon. I'll be back to training next week, regardless. This ankle, even if I can't roll or kick, I'll just do some boxing stuff. Or you can always improve on something. So I'll be back at training.
Yeah. I'm looking forward to it, mate. I appreciate you coming on for a chat with me tonight.
No worries, mate. Thanks for your time.
Yeah. Cheers, man. Looking forward to it.
Cheers. Bro.